Afternoon, Meredith.
Hello, hi.
This is our last bare bones and upfront selfie video, and we are here in the west-ish end of the city.
Yeah.
I am in a wonderful space for this interview / performance. Meredith, thank you so much for giving up your time for us. I know that you're kind of busy right now. You're launching a new album. Can you tell us a bit maybe about that process of creating something anew?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we're doing something a little bit differently this time with the releases. We're releasing EPs, or we call them tringles. They're 3-song EPs. And just really after my last record, Place Called Happy, I didn't want to wait as long between albums. So I decided to release more music more often. So I worked with Joel Plaskett and we released Trouble. And now I'm lucky enough to work with John Angus MacDonald from the Trews. Just ran into him in the hallway, actually. He's here right now too, rehearsing, because they've got a new release. And I worked with John Angus here in Toronto and was able to actually use my band, and it was fantastic. So this one's called Hardest Goodbye, and it comes out March 4th.
Okay. Is there a big difference between you creating on your own as opposed to collaborating with another artist?
I'm a big collaborator.
Okay.
I learned that from Gordie Johnson. I used to create music on my own, and I think most people do when they're starting out. And then I met Gordie, and he is a real proponent of collaboration, both writing and, performing. Like Big Sugar's Big Sugar for a reason. Like he just throws all his buddies up there on stage, and I've been fortunate enough to be one of those buddies up on stage. So I learned a lot from him, and I really take that through how I make music. So I feel like the more people you can get involved, the better it turns out.
No, that's cool. Now, we're in Toronto, and Toronto's this big, huge scene of music and mayhem. Why Toronto for yourself? Why do your craft here in this city?
Well, it's home. I grew up here. I was born and raised here, which I know is, I've learned that that's kind of strange. Not a lot of people, I guess, are actually from Toronto, but I am from Toronto and proud of it. Mayor Ford aside. But yeah, I make music here because that's where I'm from, and I've certainly traveled a lot to different cities. I make a lot of music in Nashville, and traveled to LA to do some songwriting, and certainly I have a huge crush on the East Coast of Canada. That's mainly, the people I work with are mainly out there. But you always come back home, and it feels good to be in Toronto. And I'm lucky that home is Toronto, because it really is the music mecca here in Canada. So I don't have to travel far to things like Canadian Music Week, or North and Northeast, or some of the great venues here in Toronto. So I feel quite lucky to be from here.
No, that's cool. When you're creating your craft, your music and such, what inspires you? What do you pull from to create what you do?
I used to think that I would pick a day and write, once a week or once a month. And now I feel like I just walk through the world as a writer. I always have my iPhone with me. I'm eavesdropping on people's conversations. I'm listening to the radio. I'm, seeing other people create art. It's just now constant. And I have a lot of really bad stuff on my iPhone that I capture. And then when I do sit down to write, both with other people and by myself, I kind of go through things and chuck a bunch of it. And then find hopefully some of the golden nuggets in there that might actually turn into songs. But I'd say I take inspiration from pretty much everything all the time, which is, when I had that shift in my mindset, it really opened up my writing, because I just feel like I'm always writing.
Cool. Some of that writing has produced some pretty awesome songs. Can we hear one of those today?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We're going to do Call It a Night for you.
All right.
And you will see Coco. Very important man in my life. This is my guitar player. His name is Corey, but we call him Coco.
All right.
Yes, this is Call It a Night.
Come on, come on, baby, can't you feel the note you put down?
come on, come on, down. We'll shake it up, I'll call your name, we'll call it a night. Sometimes we a little, sometimes we a little sweet. Right now I need your number, come on, give me what I need. Yeah, oh. Just because I can. Woo! Come on, come on, come on, baby. Don't you give me down. Come on, come on, come on, darling. I won't wait forever just because I can. Oh my mind, oh my mind. I'm about to let you know what you like. Oh my mind, oh my mind. Oh 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 my mind, oh my mind. I'm about to let you know what you like. Take me out, we'll shake it up, I'll call your name, we'll find us some trouble, and then we'll call it a night.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
See you on the 26th.
Alrighty.